Hi everyone. I wanted to pop on here today with a voice note because I haven't done one of these before. So I thought it might be quite a nice way to connect. I really hate being on video, but I don't mind talking. So it's kind of a good combination for me anyway, maybe not for you. But also I really like listening to things. Like I listen to, podcasts, audiobooks. And you can do it sort of so much more hands-free, can't you, as you're going about your day. So I thought this might be a good way. And if it works out, then maybe I'll do a few more of them. So today I wanted to talk about surviving December because I think although this is a really, buzzy and exciting festive time of the year, it can also be pretty stressful, particularly if you're running your own business. You've got a side hustle, maybe you're working full time, you've got children to care for, parents to care for, pets to care for. We're all caring, aren't we? And it's a lot. And I think it can go two ways in December. Either you have a business where a lot of it is about December. So if you sell products or if you're an affiliate marketer, this time of year can be really busy because you're, putting things out into the world. You've got lots of clients, customers, and you're trying to fulfill all that. Or it can go the other way, and either you are selling products, but it's not going as well as you wanted it to, or maybe you sell services and you're feeling like, oh, no one's going to be buying in December, I don't know what to do, and you're stressing there about money or just the fact that clients aren't flowing into you. So I think either way, either it's super busy or it's super stressful because you're not seeing what you want, or sometimes it can be a combination of the two. You're not getting the flow of money in, but you're also busy because there's a lot of things going on. So I wanted just to talk today about maybe 3 ways. I don't have the solutions, but maybe 3 ways that we can help ourselves during this month. And this came to me this morning as I was watching a squirrel that comes into our garden. She comes every day. We live in the middle of a town, so it's kind of a busy place, but she comes every day and she kind of begs at the door for food because we've got into the habit of putting things out for her. So she comes to the door, and if there's no nuts out there, she will put a little feet along the kind of step, and she'll wait for me to go to the door and to put some nuts out for her. And she's actually just been this morning, and that's what made me think about this. And I think we can see a lot from nature and the way things happen and go on, because that's a little bit like us in a way. So the squirrel, we've called her Kate, after Kate Bush, because she has a very bushy tail, and I'm a big fan of Kate Bush. She comes every day, and it is that relentlessness, isn't it? A bit like us going about our daily lives, trying to earn enough money, do all the things that we have to do, care for the things that we need to care for. And the thing about her is she will do that every day. She has to get up in the morning, and whether she comes to me for food or whether she goes and searches elsewhere for food, or because it's the colder months now, whether she goes and digs up the little stores that she's left around, although I have heard that squirrels forget where most of their stores are that they've buried. I don't know if that's true. Maybe that's why she's coming here every day. But they scurry around, and often that's how I feel that I am, scurrying around, doing things. But at the same time, just like Kate has to do, the squirrel has to do, we have to do the same thing, because we can't just give up. We can't just say, let's just forget about it today. There are days when I think to myself, I would just like to bring the duvet down, lie on the sofa, make a cup of tea and watch Christmas films for the rest of December. Because at this time of year, we're so tired, we're so worn out, and we just want that wind down time. And I think the cold weather, the dark evenings, it is the winter, and biologically that's where we're at in our minds, in our evolution. We are ready to have a lie down, have a cup of tea and have a rest. But we can't necessarily do that. In fact, this is the month that everything ramps up. So these are my 3 ideas for you, for me, for everyone, maybe just to find a little bit of space. So the first one is, if you want to, I suppose, bring more income in during this month, the first thing I'm going to say is we have to make more offers. We have to get out in front of people, whether you're selling products, whether you're selling services. It is the making of offers that gives you that numbers game. So I think most of sales, to be honest, is a numbers game. We know that, only 1% of people that see a sales page or whatever, 1 to 2% of people will purchase. So whether that's an Etsy store, whether that's your course, whether that's your service that you're selling to people, if you can get it, actually people looking at it in front of 100 people, you may make like 1 to 2 sales. Now, when you bring that back, you realize just how many people you've got to get looking at whatever it is that you're offering. Now, I'm not saying it's never higher than that. Of course, there are things that convert well, but I think if we come at it from that approach, it can help, because you realize that you have to get out as much as possible. And it's so painful. It's so painful for me to make offers. I force myself to do it. But again, it is still painful. But the more we can get out on social media, in blog posts, in our newsletters, the more people we can get in front of, the more chance we've got of making a sale. So that's the one thing I'd say to you to focus on during December in terms of sales, is to make offers wherever you can. The second thing is that because we're super busy, I think we have to take some time to look after ourselves, whether that's whatever form of self-care means to you. We always hear things like taking a bubble bath and, having a massage and all those kind of things. We might not necessarily have the money for, well, maybe a bath, not so much, but a massage and, all those nice things. You might just not have the money for that. You might just be too busy for that. So I think we have to bring it down even to tiny, small things. So with me, I love tea. So even just having a cup of tea like mid-morning or mid-afternoon and just sitting with that for a few minutes, rather than just staying on my laptop and, drinking it while I'm working, just to take 5 minutes out. Sometimes I'll even just step outside the back door for a few minutes just to feel the air, just while you sip for a few minutes. Yes, it's cold, but sometimes you just need that kind of change in atmosphere. If that's not possible for you, the other thing I like to do is to do a walk every day, even though it's cold and it's dark and sometimes it's miserable. This time of year helps because you can look at the Christmas lights. But that's the other thing to do. Just try and build in those really tiny things. Maybe it's, when you go to bed at night, you read for 10 minutes and read something that totally takes you away. So, fiction, totally escapist, whatever that means for you. Or some people love to look at craft books or recipes, whatever it is that takes you far away from what you're doing. So try and build in those tiny, tiny little bits of self-care, because they can keep you going. And then the last thing is, I think obviously it's a cliche that the 1st of January rolls around and we've all got our new lives beckoning, our new weight loss and our new goals that we're setting. However, I think if you're running a business or you're running side hustles and you're trying to earn more income, I think it is important to plan in December. And it's the perfect time. I always think that time, if you've got time to do it before Christmas, then even better. But also that time between Christmas and New Year. Often if you've had a very busy time because you're selling products, that gives you a bit of space. Yes, you might want to just collapse on the sofa, but you can also still do a little bit of planning. But I think it's also important in that planning to look back at the year that's just gone. Look at things like what's worked, what hasn't worked, and also be really honest with yourself about what you want to do going forward, because sometimes we can put lots of things in, lots of goals, but are they genuinely what we want to do? So that's my third thing. So first thing is make more offers. I know it's not what we want to do, but I think it can help in terms of income. Secondly, we're super busy, so take time for self-care. And thirdly, take time for planning. Now, you've probably seen that I've got an offer out at the moment. It's the Pay What You Want offer, and it's called the 12 Days of Content. So there's going to be loads and loads of training in there to help you market and build a business in 2024. It's going to drip out over 12 days from the 13th of December through to the 24th. But if you don't have time to do it in December, of course, you've got access to all that going forward. Actually, at the end of the 12 days, I'm going to send out like a guide and a sort of ebook that's got the links to everything. So you can just keep that training for next year. I've put so much value into this training. There is so much that you can use. Even if you don't use all of it, I'm sure there'll be some sections that you will be valuable for your business. So if you want to have a look at that, I'll leave the link below wherever this is, but it's alisonmformarywood.com/12 days. See all the training that's involved. And as I said, it's pay what you want. So I want to make this super accessible to everybody. I know times are difficult right now. So, if you can only pay $1, pay $1. If you can pay some more, that helps support other people going through the event as well. So take a look at that. And one exciting thing that I wanted to add is, as a bonus for that, I'm going to do like a live kind of planning party where I go through all the things that you need to review in the last year and looking at different ways of setting goals for 2024. Now, even if you can't come along to the Zoom event, obviously you can listen. There'll be a replay afterwards, and that might help you with your planning too. So I hope you take a look at that. And we called it Surviving December because I think that's often what we're doing at this time of year. We're just keeping going, maybe, until that Christmas day, or just until we've got time to wind down. Christmas isn't always, amazing for everyone, so I'm very conscious of that too. I don't really have family around me, so I have to find really small ways of making it special, whether that's just, putting up the tree and kind of taking time for that. So wherever you are, however you're doing it, you might not celebrate Christmas at all, but even if you don't, it's that kind of wind down time of the year. So let me know if any of this was helpful. Check out the 12 days of content, and I'll be back hopefully with another one of these soon. Take care.